And welcome, everyone. Hi, I'm Liz, and I'm so excited to have you here at the 7 Minute Demos. If you have not been here before, let me orient you to what this thing is. I love new technology. I think the cool stuff coming out is amazing, and we've got so many amazing people in the Club EG community that have such amazing tools that I wanted to share them with the world. And the reason is I absolutely love getting demos of this new stuff, but at the 7 minute mark, my eyelids get a little droopy and I just can't handle anymore. So this is a whole thing where we get four tech folks to come on board, usually tech, but we bring in other people too. You get 7 minutes to do your demo. I get 3 minutes to ask questions. So the rest of the audience is able to drop their questions in the chat. I'll pull from those as well. And then after each of our four companies has done their 10 minutes of time, we then will open it up for other questions at the end. So we could call back to you if the opportunity presents itself. And that is what this thing is. So I am so excited to have four incredible people on here today. And I'm just going to kick it straight off. Paul, since you were at the top left and you were the first one on, you seem eager. Can I bring you up
Oh
here?
boy, please do it. Let's do it.
All right, Paul. So I completely destroyed the promotion for Paul's live room app because apparently there's another one that has a different period and a different place in the URL, and I pulled all the wrong info. But he's excited about it because the one that I showed was really boring, and his is really exciting. So live room app is what, Paul?
Yeah, so Liveroom is a new way to present content and engage your audience with the unique ability to also be able to track all of that engagement. And then also, if you're interested and you're in that kind of field marketing B2B space, qualify your leads as well. So I guess, Liz, could I share the screen? Because we're going to be interactive today. If you have a cell phone beside you, I'd love you to get it out.
Okay. And yes,
And I am going to share this. So we're going to get a little bit meta today. We're going to use Liveroom to showcase Liveroom. And so this is a big screen display. And you will also then, when you log in, you'll be able to see it on your phone. So I've just checked in. If everyone scans the QR code. See, this is eating into my 7 minutes, but that's okay because we're going to get there and you're going to see it and you're going to get to play. So once you get,
fill out the form really fast.
if you want to, yeah. And so what this is, right? The form is completely optional. Here's Andy, here's Michael. This is a new way for you to be able to engage with your audience. So what it's trying to do is to create a two-way street. So at the moment, when you do like polls and things like that, you really only can do this one way. What we want to do is showcase new ways for you to also present your content. So you can ask questions just like you would, but you can also then engage with emojis. It all happens completely live. It's a way to get people involved. There's some things in in-person events that we kind of miss sometimes from the hybrid world. I know it's weird, but the ability to kind of react and participate is so easy in that hybrid world. Want to try to find a way to bring some of it here. So I am going to show you some of the things that I can pop into the chat, for example. So I can simply click on my side to show you. Here we go. I will send you a poll. So I can, if I'm doing a poll, I can send that to go live on your phone. It instantly appears on the big screen, and then you can simply answer it. It's all that typical type of stuff you've typically seen when it comes to engagement. But what we can also do is we can send other fun things too. Like, for example, if you would like to interact with me, I can send my contact card. That can appear in your feed. Liz, I have one for you too. And you will notice that there we go. You'll notice that it's on the big screen as well as being right there on your phone. So the idea is that as you send things live on the big screen with one click, it also appears everywhere. Now I can also do that with things like slides. So ding, there's the slide. So you can imagine a situation where you are hosting a breakout session and you want to make your slides go live and you also want to host some interactivity. You can do all of that. You actually do it from your phone, but you can do it from your laptop. You can do it yourself. You can have a producer do it. And you start to kind of create this interesting kind of, two-way street. I want to show you another couple of things too. This is a brand new feature. You're actually on our dev side at the moment because what we can also do is you can send comments as well. So if you look at your phone now, I can create effectively a post. And that post can then have comments enabled on or off. And you can then start to participate with those. I can turn it off. I can turn it on. Everything happens completely live. Now, how does it do that? And what I want to do is show you what I've been using. So this is the Lightroom dashboard. It's drag and drop. Everything is sitting in here. You can simply, if you want to go live with something, so if I want to go live with that Liz card, I can simply just push go live. It automatically puts it up on the big screen, dumps it into what we call the activity feed. I can turn that on and off. I've got full control over that instantly inside your app. And this is where you can then go through and share all sorts of things. So I can go live with a link, for example. And this is one that I figured that you may be quite interested in as events people, is the form. So I can send a form live and that instantly appears on your phone. So for all those people who've already checked in, when the form pops up, it's asking what your name is. We automatically pre-fill that with information we've already learned about you. So if you'd filled in a form where you'd already given us your name, we pop that in, we put in where you work, and then you can very simply tap through, tell us what you like, what you don't like in that form that I've pre-built, and then we get all that data. So this is kind of the fun of it. You can queue up your slides here. Look, I can go next. I can put each of these slides into your feed. Ding, ding, ding. You'll see them all appear on your phone instantly. Now, I mentioned that you can then start to see what people have done. And so I can now click into what is our engagement dashboard, and I can see that we've got 20 unique users, 14 people have checked in, 8 people have voted in the polls, 5 people have filled in the form, clicked on links. And so what I really start to do now is I can start to learn more about the people that were at the event. So no longer can you just, you worried about sitting there and saying to your kind of teams, yeah, we had 50 people come and yeah, they seemed interested. We can now actually provide quantifiable metrics that say, well, these ones clicked on the pricing slide and this one downloaded this and this one filled in this form. And we can build quite a rich picture of that person that you can then pass over to your sales teams, who then can have more of kind of nuanced conversations about some of the information that they're seeing. So again, everything happens live. I can see that Scott just downloaded a slide. Pam clicked on a LinkedIn link. Sarah checked in. Liz, I don't think you've done anything else since, but all of this starts to come in. I can pull it into a timeline view so I can see how the reactions and how all of the kind of interactions taken place over time. I can see that I've got my responses coming in. I can click on these and I can view them. I kind of talk about this being kind of like part Slido, part Twitter, part SurveyMonkey, part Google Analytics. But it's a really interesting way for you to start seeing who's here. And then all of that information we start to collect about each person in the room, we pull in and you can see each of those folks. So I can see Jill's here, I can see Luke's here, I can see Evan's here, and then I can see kind of all the things that they're doing. We can theme it, we can customize it. You've got the very kind of basic view at the moment. And if you do want to click on the top and you can say, you know, like here we go, for example, I can say, let's take a look at this question from Scott. Industries like pharmaceutical expect high levels of security when using products like this. How do you handle these concerns? We're only collecting information that you, the audience, are giving me. I don't collect anything secretly. I don't collect anything that you haven't shared. And so that's why it's things like it's GDPR safe. And why is Paul the best person ever? See, I can put that into the preparing queue. And I won't answer it right now. I'll come back to it later. But I can also not even choose to answer it up on the big screen. I can just pop that into the activity feed. And then I think I should turn on comments so that you can all talk about maybe why I'm the best person ever. But this is kind of the fun of it, right? And if I do this, which you will see, if I turn it into a mobile view, some of our clients also use it on stage. They moderate from the stage. Oh, why can I not make this smaller? But we have a mobile view. I just have to restart it.
Sorry, well, you're eating into your 3 minutes of me asking you questions, so let me start peppering you.
I'll do that.
Number one, can I turn off those emojis? I know in some apps when people can like throw confetti, it gets annoying because 9,000 people throw confetti at once. So is that a toggle?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So all of that can be changed. It all is completely changed on the fly. So for example, if I go in here and turn off emoji reactions and push save, you'll notice stuff now disappeared from your app. They're gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do them in a couple of different ways. Some are flying the screen, some do this. We've got options.
Cool. The
Yep.
slides. So you, I think,
Yep.
had put up a whole slide deck, but then you mentioned that you can get data on which slides people looked at. Do you do slides one by one? Do you put the whole deck? How does that work?
Yeah, you upload the entire slide as a PDF. We separate it out into multiple different slides, and then you can order those and then blast through them in
Ah.
here. So you click go live, and then you want to go to your next slide down here. You simply click next, and away it goes. And then as people click the download button on each of those slides, we capture what slide it is and put it into the engagement report.
So when you built this, was your vision for it to create more engagement for virtual events or for in person or to bring them together? What was the goal?
Yeah, both. It's really for in person. So it started out as a way to kind of rethink some of the paradigm around kind of just we've got people, you've got them logged into a tool asking questions. Why not actually have this begin to be kind of like a two-way situation? You've got their attention. Why not put some content in front of them?
Mhm.
So most of it's used in person on the big screen, but there's no reason why, like now, you can't use it in a virtual setting too.
Yeah. And so I would envision, I guess, that you've got kind of in the back in the tech table, you've got somebody who's managing all the stuff that's happening there, and then somebody whose dedicated job is this, keeping the engagement and kind of running this piece in the background. Or do you help with
Yeah,
that?
we don't help with that. No, that's all on the events team. But there's a few different ways you can do it, right? So for something like a breakout session, you may want to have a producer sitting there. They could also be producing remotely because it doesn't matter where you're sitting. I'm producing this now, and you're everywhere you guys are. So your producer could be anywhere. You could also create a companion experience if you're doing something like a big keynote or like a sales kickoff. So,
Mhm.
for example, you could have all your content sitting there. So, as you introduce a new product, you're sending out pricing sheets, you're sending out talking points for that product, you're putting links to internal documentation. There's kind of lots of different ways that people can use it. So, you could simply just use it for Q&A if that's what you want.
Can
You could
you
simply use
pre-schedule
it.
stuff? If can you pre, I know you can preload because it's sitting there, but can you schedule times for it to go? No, not yet.
No, so it's all designed to be live and for you to click through one, two, three. Yeah.
Okay. And then is there a CRM integration? Because you mentioned that you can get all the data.
Yeah, so at the moment it's just a CSV. Happy to work on a CRM integration if that's helpful for folks. But some of this data can be quite granular, and you may want to find a way to kind of score these leads before you actually put them into your CRM.
Beautiful. That was amazing. That is your time for now. So, team, if you have more questions for Paul, we can bring him back up at the end. Life Room is awesome. So, Paul, when you get off stage here, if you will just drop in the correct link for everybody to find in the chat. And of course,
Sure thing.
everybody has it. Thanks so much. Okay, back to you in a bit. Remove spotlight. Michael Hoffman, are you ready to go now?
I am ready.
Absolutely spectacular. Here we go. All right, Gather Voices. We have been using Gather Voices a little bit early on when we first launched Club Ichi, and then I know that the Event Minds Matter, Janice Cardinale, has worked with you for the last 2 years at IMEX. Tell us who you are, what you do. Let's go.
Yeah. So I'm Michael Hoffman from Gather Voices. We help events collect video content from attendees, sponsors, speakers, and the like. But we have a new product, which is really what I want to share with you today. So we've been looking at this really tough question around networking. And if I can share my screen,
You should be good.
um, I will do that. Screen two, share sound. So um, why do we go to events? We go to events to connect to people, and um, but networking, it's making me crazy that networking is alcohol and extroverts, and it's not working. And I think, especially for a younger generation, often the idea of networking is hard and complicated, and it's really not strategy. And so I think we can do better. And I'm not proposing the solution for networking. I'm proposing a solution that could help with networking. And so, we know people want to find people to connect with. We know that when people know people before they walk in, they're going to feel more comfortable walking in the door. And so it's like, you go to those events where you're a first timer and how different that is than when you go to an event where it's like a family reunion and you know everybody and you're really excited about it. There's so many of these first timers who just don't have those connections, and we cannot stick them in a dark ballroom and think that they're going to figure that out by themselves. And we want people to get to the meat of thoughtful conversations. Uh, if you're only in a 1 hour networking thing, you again don't want people talking about the weather the whole time. So Um, we have a new product. It's called FaceForward, and the idea is to connect people pre-event with short video introductions. So for people to introduce themselves and to um, record a short video, so like 60 seconds. I'm going to just get out of here and actually just show you what it all looks like. And then we curate matches. And one of the things we figured out was one-to-one isn't great for this because that person, you may hate that person, A, and B, they may not even show up to the event. So what we do is match in small groups, 4 to 8 people. And the idea is these are people that you should know. So I'm going to actually show you a real example. This is from an event that was a few months ago called Rev Up in Real Life. And this is what was sent to the folks when they registered.
Withers, managing partner of.
Wait, hold on.
Hi, I'm Melissa Withers, managing partner of Rev Up Capital, and I'm so happy that you're going to be joining us on March 5 here in Boston for Rev Up in Real Life. We're using a platform from one of our portfolio companies called Gather Voices to help everyone coming to the event make the most of their time. We're just asking you to take 90 seconds and make a video. You'll be fully prompted on what to say using this really simple platform. And what we'll do is we'll use those videos to help create some pods, hopefully of folks that you haven't met before, so that when you get here on March 5, not only will you have some friendly faces in the room, but you'll know a little bit more about people that we think you should get to know. So please, when you see this come across your inbox, take 90 seconds, click on the link, and let us do the rest. I promise you won't be disappointed. Thanks, and I can't wait to see you on March 5.
So pretty self-explanatory. People could record their video right from here. And then I'll show you an example. So Melissa got 80% of the 200 people at her event to participate, which is,
Wow.
I would say, your mileage may vary. I mean, she is a force of nature and everybody loves her. And so I think, Liz, you could probably get a similar percentage of people at your events, but obviously much larger events and different things, you're going to have people opt in, and you could do it with subgroups, right? You could have a first time attendee thing, or you could have whatever groups, but I'll show you an example of a video that was from this event so you can get an idea. The prompt was, tell us about yourself and tell us something we wouldn't know about you from just looking at your LinkedIn.
Hey there, I'm Rebecca Moore, CEO of In a Nutshell Consulting. I'm an angel investor, board member, advisor, and former VC-backed startup founder. One of those 2% of women who launched a .com back in the day, which was a lot of fun. I love getting to know and support and advise female-led startups, and that is how I met Melissa and Rev Up. She is the bomb. And let's see, something you wouldn't know about me via LinkedIn. Well, I'm the proud mom to 3 Gen Z daughters. So I'm quite interested in femtech and sustainable fashion, consumer product goods, age tech, and I love to travel because my daughters live in Chicago, Juneau, and Boulder, and one is doing a semester in Sydney, so we're heading there in May. I look forward to meeting you and connecting and seeing how we can collaborate. Bye.
So you get the idea. And so, if I walk into an event and there is Rebecca, I'm going to know, hey, I know you, Rebecca, and Rebecca's going to know me because we're in this group together. And sometimes the events, we've run this now several times in the last 6 months. And at some events, like this event, they didn't do anything. They just let people find those people that they connected with in the group. And other events did the birds of a feather table, or a specific time of the event to meet with your group. And I think, again, the event organizers can decide. It can be a very light lift where you leave it up to the people to do what they want, or you can do something there on the ground. So just to wrap up, the attendees record, they get their group. One of the things about matching is we've also learned that you don't want to over engineer matching. People don't want to meet themselves, right? They want to meet other people, but you don't want to have a whole group that's all first-time attendees, or you don't have a whole group that's, 5 vendors and 1 attendee or something, right? Like there's certain categories that are really important to manage as you create groups. And depending on the goals of the event, right, you can create groups with different things. we find that when I see this person, Rebecca, it's really different than seeing her profile in an event app or something like that, right? You really are getting a sense of this person's personality, and what they're all about. And I think especially when we look at the next generation coming to events who are less relaxed about meeting people and just being able to walk in the door and feel like I'm seen and I see and be seen, that's something that we can do. So I'm going to stop talking and just let you
Pepper you with questions.
ask questions.
Okay, so here we go. Question number one. If 80% of your attendees actually do videos, that's a lot of time to spend watching all these videos. Do you curate them, or are they?
Yeah, they're small groups.
logged in
So
anything?
every attendee gets an email with a gallery of 4 to 8 videos
Okay.
of people that we think they should get to know.
And
And
how
so
is that matched? How is that curated?
Right. So it's curated in 2 ways. The most important is categories. Again, I don't want I don't want 5 people selling something to one attendee in a group. I don't want 5 first-time attendees, in the group together. So there's that level, which is, I would say, the most important level. And then we also use AI to go, hey, is there things that people said that may match up? People have kids the same age, or they talked about some particular goal that they have at the event. And the event organizer would be able to steer that a little bit and say, oh, these are the kind of groups that we're thinking about. In the case of a small event, 100, 200 people, sometimes the event organizers, they want to curate those things. They want to put, one sponsor in each group, or, be thoughtful because they know all the people and want to do that. So we enable either it to be automated or to be done individually.
Okay. Very cool. And then let's see. So I know in the normal Gather Voices, you can record your thing and there's a share on social button. Does this work the same way? You could share it, or is this like a closed ecosystem?
Yeah, this is designed to be really closed for that event networking and not to be something that goes out into the world. I assume, if a client asked us, hey, we want people to be able to share their intro somewhere else, we have the technical capabilities to do that. But, the idea here is like, you've signed up for this event, you're going, we want you all to meet before you go and at least feel like there's a few people that you know.
Mhm.
And, we're also trying to do something that's turnkey and that doesn't require like a whole separate space on the floor, and just something. And again, I don't think we're solving the whole networking thing. I think we're just solving an important piece, which is, hey, I want to show up feeling like I know some people.
Yeah. Is there a next step to engage? So you watch somebody's video and you're like, oh my gosh, I really need to find this person. Is it just go out on LinkedIn and find them, or is there something in the platform?
Yeah, so we're still, so this is kind of version 1.0 of the platform. I think there's a bit of a tension there of like not wanting to recreate like a whole messaging platform. It's like, who needs another platform for stuff? So generally we've kind of said, let's keep it light. Like, let's give if people want to share their cell phone or their contact information in their group, we want to make that possible, but we don't want to build like a whole other Slack or some kind of functionality. It's like, hey, you have that in 50 different places. We don't need to be it. I can imagine a future where we integrate this with some event apps, where that functionality that already exists of people's profiles and things could link in really nicely with something like this.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And so tell me a little bit more about the cohort. So people are given other people, there's 4 of them together. So do they know that they've been given to each other as a group, or are they kind of like, hey, here's your 4?
Yeah, that they don't know. They get an email, and the email links to a screen like this one that you see here. And so, here's some people we think you ought to get to know.
I understand.
And your video's in there with their videos. And again, working with the event organizers, it can be a smaller group, a larger group. It can, have different rules about how we decide who's in the group. And again, you can have something specific at the event itself to bring people together or not. And I think the idea is just to create something, again, that's very turnkey, that's very easy, that's very flexible, and that's not real expensive.
Very cool. All right. Well, here's my dream. So I'm just going to throw this one out there. I want to do something called the human library, where people can record some expertise they can be checked out for, like a book. And then people could put in their videos of the problem they're trying to solve. And then it would match the people they could check out that match the problem they're trying to solve. And then you have the on-site library for people to meet up. So that's my idea.
I like that.
Awesome.
Well,
Thank you so much, Michael.
yeah, thank you.
Thanks for being here, and we will come back to you with questions at the end. Good job. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, let's see. Who else have we got on here? Duncan, are you here? Are
Hey,
you
yes.
yes, are you the one that's going to be giving your overview?
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, so I was introduced to CleoPay by one of our EG members and thought this seems like something that a lot of folks in our community might be interested in. So nobody, I think, here knows much about what you guys do. So
Cool. So yeah, CleoPay, it's a new company. I'll give a little bit about my background as well. I've been building kind of companies in the event and entertainment space for kind of the past decade. CrowdSync, which is a LED controllable wristband company, and then I built a company called Project 91, which produces live events and concerts in New York City. So I've been in producing events, working as an event vendor for a number of years, and always had this kind of same recurring issue that we'd always struggle with getting payments out the door. We'd have so many invoices come in, and it's very hard to track the invoices. Just like they fill up your email box when you're producing an event. And then I'm sure some of you may be dealing with this right now is filing 1099s at the end of the year. Going back, collecting W-9s from all your vendors, making sure you have those forms filled out. So we built CleoPay to help solve this issue. And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
yep, you should be good to share. Beautiful.
Yep. Okay, cool. So this is kind of the main CleoPay dashboard. What we do is we're your kind of automated accounts payable platform and vendor management platform. So you can have all your vendors in one place. You can click on Joe's profile. You can see all the invoices you may have paid him, his address. You have his W-9 readily accessible. All the vendors sign up to the platform. We make it very easy for them. You can take a shareable link here. You can text it, email it to them, or send them an email invite to join the platform and submit an invoice. What they'll do is they'll connect their bank account, they'll enter their W-9 details, and then they'll be submitting their invoice. So their bank account, everything's attached to them on the platform. And then you can go in here, click into an invoice, and you can upload attachments. We'll scan those attachments, and then it's as easy as clicking pay, and you're going to confirm your business bank account. You then have the vendor's business bank account, and we're actually facilitating ACH transactions to the end recipient. There's no fees on either side of the transaction either. So if it's a $1,500 invoice, the vendor will receive $1,500 in just 1 to 2 business days. And then you also have all of your past transactions, etc., are here, and you can go for great record keeping. Click into any transaction. The vendors, or if you're working with contractors, they can upload receipts, anything they might need to show as well in accordance with their end invoice. You can also then see who approved the invoice and who initiated the payment. So we kind of have a full audit history for you. And it's really a great way for event teams, especially, to be able to delegate some of the finance work. Or if you're a small business, like you're a small team, maybe the owner of the company is generally the only person that has access to your business bank account. And you might not want an event manager or a manager level or even assistant working for your company in your business bank account, and you probably don't want them in your QuickBooks or accounting tool either. So we're able to kind of safely sit in between your business banking and your accounting, so that you can delegate access and get invoices approved and then paid very efficiently. And we're kind of built this for the event and hospitality industry.
Super cool. Okay, ready for me to pepper you with my questions?
Yep, let's go.
Okay, so question number 1, who is the best ICP? Like, who is the actual target for this? Is it solopreneurs that are doing projects with other people? Is it like agencies?
Yeah, I would say as soon as you're, any event producer, as soon as you're going from more than like 10 or 15 invoices a month, or if you have, even just, you have a big event, you have 20 different vendors working, we're going to collect everything and funnel it all into one platform.
Okay, and difference between this and just having QuickBooks where you're paying people and doing invoices?
Yeah, so we found that, QuickBooks, it's time consuming. There's like this is just the way we can just like take a link here and text it to anyone. You just can't do that in QuickBooks. And we just make it much more efficient, being a kind of siloed platform where you can just view everything. It's for your invoices, it's for your vendors, and just really the vendor experience too. Vendors love using the platform because they don't need to follow up. Every couple of days, hey, what's the status of my invoice? They can see, okay, the invoice has been approved, and it's scheduled to be paid.
And then is the platform kind of in a QuickBooks way, like SaaS platform, just monthly subscription?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Price range?
Really, we start kind of as low as like $79 a month, and then tiers up from there, kind of mostly based on your payment volume, size of the organization. But try and make it very affordable for if you're a 1-2 person team, we can make it work for you. And then really, we say like a lot of our clients, the platform kind of pays for itself just in the 1099 filings because we do all of that for you automatically.
That's awesome. Okay. Is there a mobile app version for all the receipts I just saw in there so that people can easily take pictures?
The mobile app is on the way, but everything works very well just in
HTML.
make it super responsive.
Okay.
But the app is in production.
Beautiful. Okay, so then I kind of heard you say these things, so I just want to clarify if this is it. So if I have an event producer who I've given one entire project to, I don't want to give them access to my QuickBooks or any of that stuff. Can I create a project where they're leading it and they can pay all the invoices on their own, but then I still have other projects they can't see?
Exactly. Yeah, we can delineate access. We can set up project files and tags so that only the right your team members, you can give them kind of whatever access you want to give them.
Awesome. And then Janice has a question. If I have a bookkeeper that does all of my stuff, but would this kind of replace that or have that person use this tool?
So bookkeepers love using us because most of the time bookkeepers are kind of going back and forth with you. They're not in your business. So like they always have a ton of questions. They don't know exactly what to pay, when to pay it. Here they can see, okay, an invoice has been approved. It's ready to pay. They can just pay it. And then everything syncs and integrates with QuickBooks. So all the data is brought over on a line item level, automatically categorized for them.
Awesome. And so you are assigning who's the approver. Something gets submitted, someone approves it, then it moves through to whoever's going to say, yes, agreed, pay.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
So yeah, we've taken kind of what used to generally be like a very kind of corporate, enterprise level accounts payable process, and just have simplified it to where it's as easy as like Venmo or Zelle, but we're tracking everything every step of the way.
Mm-hmm. And so the benefit for this is it's simplified. It's intended for your events. It is not like a QuickBooks mega. I can do everything under the sun to do with finances. Can this integrate with, if all of my normal P&L and everything reporting is in QuickBooks, can it like pull in the stuff that's happened?
Oh yeah, you can pull in like we sync here with QuickBooks. We'll pull in all your categories. We're doing some more things to pull in the rest of the data feeds, but it's like you can pull in your chart of accounts. You can pull in your vendors. You can map ones that are either on Cleo but aren't in QuickBooks yet, or map a QuickBooks vendor to a Cleo vendor, just so everything stays in sync.
Beautiful. Oh, well done. Thanks, Duncan.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being here. This is very cool.
Thank you.
Oh boy. All right. So we'll call you back up in just a few minutes. Vendolux team. So Letitia, and I think we have Stefan.
Yes.
How do I pronounce it?
Stefan, yes.
Stefan. All right, come on up. Letitia, do you want to be on screen too? Or are you just going to wave from, okay, she's cheerleading from behind. Hi, Stefan. Welcome.
Thanks, Liz, for having us.
Over to you, Vendolux.
Yeah. So I'm one of the co-founders here. Excited to share more about Vendolux. So we are a software platform that works with event organizers and event marketers. So if you're an event organizer, Letitia on the call works with many of our partners. Please reach out to her or me to learn more. Basically, a great event depends on having the right people and the right companies in the room. So if you're an event organizer, you can share who's attending your event or who's sponsoring your event, and we'll help you figure out where the gaps are and the right people to invite to your conference to make sure that everyone has the networking opportunities they're looking for. So If that's you, please reach out to Letitia, and happy to share more about how that all works. Today I'm going to actually be sharing our platform for event marketers on the other side. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, all good.
Okay, great. So because we have all of this data coming in from event organizers that we partner with, we can help event marketers figure out which events to be at, which events are going to have the highest concentration of their customers. They can also figure out where their competitors are going to be, and then actually book meetings in advance so that for every conference, you're getting as much face time as possible with the people that are important to you and your company. So to start it off here, and to be clear, we work across every vertical, every geo. So financial services companies, tech companies, supply chain companies, consulting companies, anybody that's going to events and trying to reach their customers in real life, we can help you. So let's say that you're a company that sells to supply chain companies. You can search Vendolux to see what supply chain company events are coming up. You can also use Google for this. Where it gets really exciting and where it's really powerful is to see who's actually going to be at those events, because that's really what matters at the end of the day. I don't want to just go to supply chain companies. I want to go to, or supply chain events. I want to go to supply chain events that have my customers. So maybe I'm working with Amazon or Google or T-Mobile or SAP, and I want to know where those brands are going to be. I can filter down based on who's actually going to be at the event. This can be on a company level, even a person level, or a job title level. So I can now browse events that are much more relevant to my goals of reaching, specific companies or people. So I'm going to click into Manifest, one of our partners. This event's coming up soon, and show you kind of on a deeper level what that looks like. So we can see who's actually attending the event. We can see whether these are deals that are in our pipeline. If you sync them with your CRM, you can even see, which of the brands that are going to be at the event or people are associated with open deals in your CRM. So that's a really powerful way to make sure that the event is relevant for you and that you're reaching out to the right people. But I can now filter down based on any sort of job title. So let's say I'm trying to get in front of CTOs at supply chain companies. Again, this could be any job title or persona that you're looking for. Now I can see relevant people that I might want to meet with at the event. So from here, you can take all these people that are relevant and you can export them to your CRM and have your sales team do outreach to those people. Now, we love our sales teams, but they don't always follow up or book meetings in advance with every relevant lead, and that's a huge missed opportunity, right? So one of the things I'm most excited about is this new AI-powered automation where you just click this button and we will actually book the meetings for you going into every single event so that your team walks in on day one and has just a calendar full of meetings. So just to click over here to show you a little bit more what it looks like, you can basically define any sort of goal for a meetings campaign around an event. It could be getting people to come to your booth. It could be getting people to come to a VIP dinner that you're having or a happy hour. Whatever it is, you can let us know what your goals are. We can AI generate email sequences to go out in your own brand voice from specific people on your team that you want to have these meetings for. You can edit it here or just let us handle it all end to end. And then meetings start popping through on your calendar. And you're going to get one dashboard that shows you all of the meetings that Vendolux is generating for you or that you're generating for on behalf of your team for every single event. So finally, if your CFO asks you, hey, we spent a couple $100,000 sponsoring this show, what did we get in return? Via this CRM integration, we can actually show you how much pipeline and deals are coming from all of that meeting activity that happened at every single event, whether it's the meetings that our AI automations are generating for you or your own team based on these campaigns that are running ahead of every single conference, as well as all the people that you met with for follow-ups and everything else. So really the end-to-end journey of planning your strategy, all the things that have to happen to collaborate with sales to make sure that you're getting as much face time with your prospective customers or current customers as possible, and then closing the loop on that attribution all in one platform. It's available now. We'd love to show anybody on this call, a more specific tailored demo. If you're like, oh, I'm, expanding into Europe and I need to understand what events are in Europe, or I'm trying to reach this particular ICP, please reach out to us and we're happy to show you a more tailored demo that can show you exactly how to oversee that strategy in Vendolux.
Okay, so you're blowing everybody's mind, and everybody's like, where did you get all this information? Letitia
Sure.
has said that's her job, creating partnerships with the event organizers.
Yes.
How willing have these event organizers been to give you access to their attendee list? That's their prized possession.
Yeah, so I mean, on the brand side, we're working with many of the largest companies in the world, like a T-Mobile or a PayPal. So at the end of the day, whether you're an event organizer, partner of ours, or an event marketer, we're all trying to get more budget for conferences. And so the more data that's shared, the more likely these big brands will sponsor an event in the first place. We've had many big brands find out about a new conference on Vendolux, and so we're basically handing these event organizers, a qualified opportunity on a platter. And then, but more importantly, when there's more data shared, brands are more successful at those events. They get more meetings, they get more pipeline, they close more business, and that helps them get more budget and also re-up for the next year. So they'll sponsor those events again and again. So we're working with thousands of event organizers at this point. It does vary, to be transparent. Not every event organizer is going to share data with us. We are changing to some degree how the industry operates. So in addition, we have thousands of community members that are sharing insights about who's going where. And we also have AI that's monitoring the web to fill in some of the gaps. So,
Okay, and then the $64,000 question, privacy. What if I didn't say that my info could be shared? What's happening?
sure. So, for an organizer partner, they'll change their terms of service or update their terms of service. In many cases, they're already, saying, hey, we're going to share our information with partners, with sponsors. So, we're just one other partner or sponsor effectively in that case. And yeah, in addition, Vendolux actually emails every single person in our database to let them know about information that we have so that they can opt
Oh,
out. So it's like kind of being verified on the organizer side, and then also for us to be GDPR compliant. We work with many organizers in Europe. We work with many brands that are headquartered in Europe, including many public companies. So that's obviously very, very important. I will say that, so we only cover B2B events, professional events. People are going there with the purpose of networking. So yes, if somebody opts out with the organizer with us, obviously they wouldn't appear here. We're not going to ever have 100% of attendees, but most people are there to network. The only people on our platform are other professionals trying to network with people in their industry. So in general, most people want to be found and want to connect with other people in their space. Of course, if they don't, we'll respect that. But many people, see the upside here and want to participate.
very cool. Okay, so you said that there is a meeting booking tool. Is that built in here, or do you integrate with Jiffle Now and Captello? How does that work?
Yeah, so this is a homegrown solution that identifies the relevant attendees and will handle all of the outreach for you ahead of the event. So I think there are some other tools like a Captello that are, useful when you're actually at the event to like scan badges and that kind of thing.
Well, I
This
know
is
they
to
have like
make,
the meeting booking tool. So if I already had something like that my company's using, for example, like, the Jiffle Now or any of those solutions, could we integrate rather than having a whole new calendar meeting thing?
so we don't integrate with any of those other platforms.
Okay.
You can. So the way that some of our customers will manage this, they might have like some really high target meetings, and they'll want their sales team to do direct outreach and use tools like Jiffle Now or whatever else is out there to book those meetings directly. And if you have a existing relationship with somebody, like we definitely encourage people to reach out in your own authentic voice, whether that's on LinkedIn or email or whatever it may be. The reality is there's probably 10x as many other potential meetings that are just not getting any outreach at all. And so that's why we have this solution. And it's very easy to divide and conquer with our platform because we can identify, hey, here are the deals from your CRM that are closed won. Your customer success team that's going to the event should reach out to those folks. Here are ones that are active deals that are open in your CRM. Well, your sales team should do their own direct outreach for those, and maybe they're using some of those tools uh, for that outreach. In many cases, they're not for whatever reason. The sales team doesn't always have the incentive to book as many meetings as possible. So there are definitely cases where our customers say, look, like we just want you to book every meeting automatically because we can't rely on the sales team to book every single meeting. They've got other conflicting priorities. And then for all of the other potential matches that meet your criteria, you're trying to get in front of a CTO at a supply chain company above 1,000 employees, whatever it is. We can identify those people and we can trigger that outreach automatically, just to make sure that the event marketer can kind of like they're on the hook at the end of the day for making sure these events are successful. They rely on their sales team to do their part. It doesn't always happen, so that's where meetings can really fill those gaps and just make sure that everything is happening to fill the calendar with every possible meeting in advance.
So all the original events that I saw on the main screen when you were starting to filter down, is that all pulled in from just internet scraping, or are people submitting their events? Where does that come from?
It's all of the above. So yeah, we have customers that are sharing. When customers join our platform, they'll say, "Look, here's every event I've ever considered. Can you get as much data as possible on every event?" And Letitia and a team of people are reaching out to every one of those organizers. If we don't have a partnership in place already, saying, "Hey, let's work together to make sure that sponsors are set up
Wow,
for
bless your heart,
success." So
Letitia. They should pay you more.
yeah, Letitia's the best. And she was just promoted actually. So congrats, Letitia. Yes, doing great work. And then yeah, I mean, our goal is to cover every B2B event. So major trade show, meetup, whatever your objectives are, we want to make sure you have as much data as possible to be effective at whatever those events are. So
Beautiful.
we take that on. You just let us know what you care about, and we handle all the hard work with the research and everything else.
Amazing. Thanks, Stefan. This is incredible. I'm blown away. So cool.
Thank you so much, Liz.
All right. So I'm going to remove all of our spotlights and we will go back into gallery view. And I am excited. If anybody has questions, let's bring it on.
My question is, Stefan, we know each other, but tell us what your background was and who your partner is.
Yeah, so it's good to see you again. So my co-founder Alex and I, we used to work at Shutterstock, which is a global image marketplace, and we were doing large deals with like OpenAI and Facebook to help them actually train their image models using Shutterstock's data. So kind of like an AI solution, and some of these were multi-million-dollar deals. So we would go to a lot of conferences to meet our partners. It was the best channel by far to get really large deals going. And so we saw the power of events firsthand when it was done right. We also saw the pain on the other side of going to the wrong event, where you show up on day one and you're like, uh-oh, I am stuck in a random city and there's literally no reason for me to be here. We've just spent a ton of time and money. And we kind of zoomed out and realized that like every company was struggling with some of these just basic questions of like, where should we be? Like, we know events work well. It's kind of like the world of advertising before Google came along, where it's like if you ran print ads, you knew that half of them worked, you just didn't know which half. So we're kind of doing the same thing for events, like trying to just help everybody be more data driven, because when it's done right, it is by far more effective than anything else you could be doing. It's more effective than SEO. It's more effective than Google ads or Facebook ads. Getting FaceTime with people is so hard right now with all the digital noise, but it's more valuable than ever.
It is, but I think that what you've unlocked is this attendee list thing, because that is the biggest challenge of you never know who's going. The organizer will not release that attendee list to anybody. You can't figure it out. So the fact that you're able to at least give even some insight into it, I think is really helpful.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And to be fair to the organizers, they are the world is shifting, and they realize that like there needs to be more transparency, and that it's beneficial for everybody to set people up for success and brands up for success. So it is changing, thankfully.
Yeah, very good. All right. Well, Paul, Duncan, Stefan, Michael, thank you so much for being on today's 7-minute demos. This recording will
Thank you guys
on In Circle and on our YouTube channel for the folks that couldn't join us live. To see your stuff, we will make sure that they have all of your contact information as well. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Liz.
Thanks,
Thank
Liz.
you. Hope to see you all next week at our Insider Show and Tell, where some of our insiders are going to show off some of their favorite projects that they've worked on, and we can get inspiration from each other. Thanks, y'all. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.